Mr. Cruz here, your friendly neighborhood producer, back with another video. And in today's video, I'm going to go over my results from 2021. Let's go. All right, so what I have here are my stats from BeatStars, and BeatStars are obviously the platform where I sell my beats, I upload and sell my beats. So for some of these stats, it's only gonna show me the last 90 days, but we'll go ahead and go through those. But I do know that for some of the stats like the sales, it will show us that. So we'll kind of take a look at that so you can see how little I make from selling beats. So it looks like November 11th was my most poppin', or November 10th was my most poppin' day, and it was probably for this track right here. I don't think it says, but it just says I got 310 plays that day. This is all just going by plays right here. Look at that, my top. I'm sorry, yo. That I didn't expect that. I didn't see that, but like my top fan is myself. I think that just goes to show I like the music that I make. I bump it all the time, so if you're not cheering yourself on, if you're not your biggest fan, I mean, how can you expect other people to be? Protect Your Peace. This was a beat that was this is a dope beat that was a collab. This one was also a collab. This one was also a collab. This one was a collab too. This one was all by myself. So out of all my top tracks, my least one, technically, let me see, it can show us some more. And these are all more of my recent ones. So I think the thing that I've noticed, or that I'm noticing here, is that the way that I started to tag my more recent beats, it seems to be helpful. So it seems to actually be more beneficial. So going back to this, top fans, me, and then a whole bunch of unknown. I would like to know who this person is, right? They've played my beats 165 times, but hopefully they've purchased something. Top countries being US, as expected. Japan, I'm kind of shocked by this one because I did recently sell a beat and like the location said it was Japan, so that was actually super exciting because like I don't know anybody in Japan. Like I know people in Canada, I know people in the UK, I know a few people in Germany, nobody in Japan, so that's cool. My top sources, so I'm interesting to see that my pro page, so this is pretty much my website gets about half as many plays as BeatStars does, and that the BeatStars app is getting so much love for my plays. But then again, if I'm at 400, that's probably me. Like 500 of those is probably me, and then everybody else is doing, you know, their thing. Let's check out free downloads. So the last 90 days, 148 free downloads. Which ones were they? So this one, all right, this was a new beat. That one was a really cool one that I did with my boy Andre. All of them kind of seem the same amount, so about 4 or 5. I know a handful of people who are downloading my beats for free. That's not a bad thing, because in exchange for downloading my beat for free, I get their email. I'm able to like hit them back up like, hey, I'm running a sale on beats, or hey, I'm letting go some of these exclusives, so that way kind of, you know, I get something out of them downloading the beat for free. And plus they're downloading the tag beat, which you should be doing if you're an artist. Download the tag beat, record your song, and then see if you like it, if you're going to keep it, and then go back and buy the beat. So top countries where my free downloads are coming from: the US, the UK, France. I'm not surprised by. I do know some people in France. And just the web page. Let's go back to the dashboard and check out the other stats, and let's really go to sales, because this is probably what people want to see. All right, so here is a look at my sales for the year of 2020. So we're going to compare 2020 with 2021. So in 2020, I sold 54 beats. I said technically 54 items, because I sold drum kits and I sold loop kits. I sold other like consultations and stuff. So 54 items all together, and $1,588 made. A discount, man, I hooked people up. That's a lot of money that I just gave away as part of the discounts. And then the percentage of ones that go from collabs. So out of this 1,588, $134 went towards collabs. We're gonna do this real quick. So I'm gonna do 1,588, and I'm gonna divide it by 54 items. So that means on average, I sold each item for about $30. Oh, I mean, that's great if this number, if the items sold was a lot more. Most of them coming from my pro page. All right, so that's pretty cool. And the marketplace seems about average. So which was my most popular track was this one that I sold for $100, and I sold this one track 4 times. So look, for people who are sitting there talking to like, I don't lease beats and whatnot, like it's not worth it, that's a bunch of nonsense, because like I sold one track 4 times and made $100, and not only is that great, but on top of that, I still own the rights to the track, so I can still continue to sell this track. So as you can kind of see, I sell a lot of beats one time. I don't have multiples. This was a beat bundle that I had sold. This would look, 2 people bought that beat, and 1 person actually released a song to it, so that was pretty cool. 2 people bought that one. So I don't really have a lot of beats where multiple people, but I do see I have a lot of packs. So maybe in the future I should make more bundles or more packs for people to buy. All right, cool. Let's take a look at 2021. How did I do here? So 54 items sold. This time I made a lot more. Not as many discounts, and a lot more for collabs. Okay, so what this information here is telling me is that I sold less items, so maybe I became a little bit more efficient, and I sold less items for more, so maybe my salesmanship or my pitch is getting, or something has allowed people to buy into the fact that they're willing to pay more for my products. So that's kind of what I'm seeing. Not a whole lot more, a little bit more, but they're still willing to pay more for my products now. Discounts, I didn't offer as many discounts last year, which I wonder if I would have offered more discounts, would I have sold more items? Who knows? Collabs, this is the number that I'm really proud about. This number I'm really happy about, because I did start collaborating with a lot more producers. I did start to equally reach out to artists and producers a lot more regularly and like with more frequency. And this being the fact that out of, let's see what the percentage of that is. 300 divided by 16,055. There we go. So 18%. So that means 18% of the money that I made from selling beats, I gave to other producers who were my collaborators. And to be honest, I don't always track, like BeatStars doesn't track like the beats that I sold just via PayPal, the beats that I sold via Cash App. It doesn't take into account the splits, right? I might have made $50 from selling a beat, but then the producer that I collaborated with, they don't have a BeatStars account, so I had to like just PayPal them the money. So in reality, this number is probably a lot bigger, and this number is also probably a little bit bigger. But I'm really proud of that I've been working with a lot of producers and growing my network with other producers. That's kind of one of the things that I want to focus on with 2022, is focusing more on putting out more loops and connecting more with other producers and collaborating more. So I'm glad that I did this last year, like getting my foot in the door or getting my feet wet with reaching out to people, because that's definitely something that I'm going to go towards in the future. Collab sales. Now this is another interesting thing, because this statistic wasn't in my last my 2020 year. So collab sales means this is the amount of money that I've made from other people selling a beat that I work with them on, right? So again, really happy about this. This kind of, in a way, it kind of tells me, I mean, I don't want to sound braggy or anything like that, but this feels to me like I'm working a lot harder than some of the people in my circle. Take with that as you will. I don't mean it to sound braggadocious or whatnot, but I think it tells me that I need to find more collaborators that are working just as hard as I am, or that are networking or are capable of networking as much as I am. Still, I love everybody that make beats. I mean, sometimes you're just really good at making a beat and you're not really good at the whole networking and talking to other people stuff, which is fine. So my most sold beats is this one, which was a collab beat. And was this a collab beat? No, I guess that was just a beat that I used the loop on. But look, that beat netted me $300, and I still own the rights. So I still have the exclusives that I can sell to anybody else. And then consultation. So I sold 3 consultations. So that's where I connect with somebody and we Zoom and I go over their social media stuff, maybe their email campaigns. I'll check out some of their beats and I'll say, hey, this is where I see that you're really strong in. This is what I would double down on. Or like, hey, this is probably some stuff that you should change as far as like your social media presence and your branding. Sold a couple of beat bundles, which again, this is more affirmation that I need to put more bundles together and sell more of my beats as package deals versus just selling them individually, because the package bundles seem to work better. All right, well, that's kind of really what I wanted to go over with you guys and give you guys like my first impressions of all of this stuff, because I had not seen any of these statistics prior to this. I will say though, in 2021, I did switch over to FL Studio. So I went from Reason to FL. I collaborated a lot more with other producers. I did focus a lot more, my production wise, on creating loops and creating melodies and sample packs that I can send out to other producers. So I feel like I've got a much better grasp on that, to the point where I'm more than likely going to be focusing on that a lot more in 2022. And selling more beat bundles, selling bundles, packages. I know that I initially started those out to sell them to other content creators, so people who were making podcasts or YouTube channels, so that they had custom music that they could use without being flagged, and also that wasn't the same thing that they hear in every other podcast or every other YouTube channel. Hopefully 2022 will be even better. I do plan on working a lot harder and putting in more hours and being more refined with my schedule. Also going to be quitting my job from teaching so that I can do music and YouTube stuff full time. And that's with the anticipation that, you know, this number right here ends up being significantly larger. Let me know in the comments below what you learned the most from 2021, and then also drop a comment and let me know what your plans are for 2022 as far as music goes. If you feel like you've learned something, do me a favor and hit that like button. And of course, none of this would have been possible without a subscription to BeatStars. As you can see, BeatStars has been a great platform for me to grow on, to connect with other artists, to be able to set up my business, and they do a lot of that work for you. So if you're interested in joining me over on BeatStars, hit the link in the description below, use my code CRU230 and sign up for a BeatStars account today. If you do that using my code, I will hook you up with your first month completely for free. Outside of that, it's your boy Mr. Cruz, out.